Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing Spec Ops The Line on the PC on FUBAR difficulty, and this is my guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Chapter 9 of 15. It is entitled The Road. This is the brief chapter that begins with the moral choice of shooting the snipers that are placed on a dune to the left, or shooting the two men over here who are bound and gagged and hanging off of this this underpass over here. One of them stole water. The other one was supposed to go after the one who stole water, and the latter one did some other offense that I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's all petty nonsense and it's needless. Conrad is trying to teach you an exercise in morality, and I just find it pointless. It just first of all, there's no point in covering all three situations because they're all going to result in the same thing. But just forget about it. Just focus on this fight, because this is actually quite a fun fight and it's challenging, and you're going to be picking up the FAMAS for the first time in the game. The FAMAS, like the AK-47, has two modes of firing that are auto and burst mode. It is not as strong as the AK-47 or the. Do you see what's happening? You've got you've got rockets being fired at you from enemies. I think the RPG guys are dead ahead, like 12 o'clock. I think that's where they're located over there. But you do want to just do not hold back from throwing as many grenades as you possibly can over here, because we do have destructible cover that we're dealing with over here. And what you mainly want to focus on is having your teammates snipe the enemies that are on the dunes. That's on the dune to the right and the trains to the left. And if you can contribute in any small way, go for it. And also, it's like straight ahead, you've got an RPG guy somewhere. And in tandem with that, what you also want to be doing is just cluster killing guys with grenades, be it sticky grenades or frag grenades. But the nice thing about the FAMAS is that it's very accurate because it's got a 4x scope to it. But the only drawback to the FAMAS, and this is why I like the 417 better, is that you can't pull out from the scope of it. You can only use the gun with the scope on. So you've got to hand it to this game for having a lot of variety of guns. I really like it. I like I don't like the circular reticles because I think they're lame, but I think that this game has just a great and wide selection of weapons, and they're fun to use. See the M4A1. This weapon is actually stronger than the FAMAS, but it's it doesn't have an interesting alternate fire, if you ask me. I mean, I think that you should have a silencer on certain situations if you need it, but I think that this weapon, just to have a silencer on it, it seems like it's kind of dull. But I understand that it's the main weapon of the game. It's like the Lancer in Gears of War, and I know the Lancer is a whole lot more interesting, but this gun is it's just a great all-around gun for pretty much any situation in the game. And I guess we can't ask for it to be too extravagant, because it is just a basic weapon that you start with that's very effective at close range and long range distances, and it can be used in a very stealth-like manner. But let's be honest with ourselves. This isn't like what was that? What's that goddamn game? Future Soldier. It's not like that kind of game where it's just all stealth pretty much, and gunfire second. I'm sorry I couldn't remember the name, guys, but that's actually the conclusion of the chapter. Now the next chapter is going to be much longer, and it's actually divided interestingly into two parts, and I'm going to be putting the two parts in two different videos. The first chapter 10 part will be rigs. The second part will be the stealing water chapter, where it's this horrendous on-rails section. But that is chapter 9. I hope that it helped you out if you had any issues on it. And please do take care.